Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. On this video, I am installing the engine. Now, I forgot once again to start recording, so luckily I'm at this point and I just dropped the new engine in and just about got all the motor mounts fitted. So let me show you that. All right, so that's the 250, brand new. Did scratch a little bit of the frame and stuff because it was a pretty tight fit. But all I got left as far as motor mounts, I got this one, I got the bottom one, and these two are in the bracket, but I need to scoot the engine up just a hair. As you can see, it needs to go up maybe a ½ inch, which I'm gonna use this big pry bar right here, and then I'm gonna lift up on it as I slide the bolts in. But I also got, this is the cover for it. I got to pin in the wires, so I got to match them to the old engine right there. You got to pin in the new wires, and this is just the cover for the chain or the sprocket and stuff. But I did get a red Loctite. I got a nice little filter for the carburetor and ignition switch, and a nice zinc coated 428 chain, 134 link to be exact. But yeah, the bike's looking good. I think the engine looks really well in it, and I will be starting it up in just a bit once I button everything up. So this is also electric start, but I need the harness and the battery, and there's a little battery like a cage, you know what I mean. And I'm gonna order that next paycheck, and I think I'm gonna mount it up in here. And it doesn't have any wheel wells, so I really don't like that. I might customize some of those from a CRF, but I'm gonna mount the battery box probably right here somewhere, just so it sits nice and I want it to be solid. So I'm gonna have to do some customizing on that, but it'll be nice. But for now, I'm gonna tuck these wires away, maybe unbolt them, just so they're not in the way or getting torn up by anything. And this one, I'm very curious about this one, because the other engine does have one, but it's only one wire. This one's a 6 wire, but these are the stator wires. So what I'm thinking these are for, because it goes to a little sensor down here, is neutral and first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. That's what I believe it is, and it's supposed to go to a cluster, because they use this engine on quads and all the kinds of Chinese stuff. But that's what I think it's for. And I think the one that was on mine, which is the 1 wire, which is actually ripped out right here, I think it was just for a neutral. So I'm gonna just probably cut those off and not use them, because I don't care for a cluster and all that. Also, as you could tell, the previous owner has jumped this thing and broke this whole bracket off and re-welded it. It looks like crap, but it looks much better than it did when it was unpainted. So I got a little bit of button up to do. I got to pin in that wire. I gotta put the carb on. I gotta do the exhaust. I only have one stud because of course it's a Chinese engine and one stud was missing. So I'm gonna have to find a bolt or stud that fits that. The other ones won't work because they're actually a smaller diameter and these ones are bigger. So I'm gonna have to find something for that. Luckily I have a big thing of nuts and bolts. Hopefully I can find something in here, and then I'm gonna get it all buttoned up. And then I could start it for the first time too, which would be nice. So I'm gonna get to finishing that, put the kickstand or kickstart, put in the shifter on, carburetor, exhaust, wiring, and then I'm also gonna throw in that ignition. And then I'm gonna add some oil, and then I'm gonna kick it over for you guys. Oh yeah, I also have to add the CDI box and the coil. So once I add that all, it'll be ready to go. But right now I'm kind of fighting this motor mount. It's off by just a ½ inch, so I'm gonna try to do some prying up on it, seeing if I can get it to match up. So I'll show you guys if I get it. All right, so it looks like I'm gonna have to replace this with the original manifold, because this one kicks the carburetor off into the frame. And you can see this one has a much greater angle. I just scrubbed it off because it's dirty. So you can see that that's gonna kick it into the center. That's exactly where I need it. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that out. Also, the air filter that I got wasn't the exact right size, so what I ended up doing was getting the grommet piece from this old filter, which fit perfectly, and I shoved it inside of there and cut a little bit off. So now when I clamp this down, it's gonna fit just right. Gotta make sure to get these little pieces of rubber off, because that's gonna go straight into the engine. But yeah, I'm gonna change out that manifold. I did get these bolts in, a little bit of a hassle, but with a screwdriver trick, I just shoved it into the hole, lifted it a little while I shoved the bottom one in. I do have to tighten them all down still, because I wanted that play for getting them all in, and now that they're all in, I could start tightening everything down. Also, I just customized the ignition switch into the plastic. There was already a hole there for an existing hole for the CRF 150 ignition switch, but with this aftermarket one, I had to do a little bit of shaving, and I managed to get it to work perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap that manifold, get the carb on, get the filter on. I'm going to test out this. This is a 5-wire CDI. I mean, not CDI, stator. So these two are not going to be used. I would imagine that these are for the harness that I'm going to get to make it electric start. These probably go to the battery to charge. So there is only the 3. I'm going to run it like this first to make sure it runs. And then I'm going to pin these up into the plug so I can get that all plugged up. And then, yeah, I'll be able to start it after putting oil in it, get the Kickstarter on, get the shifter on, and I got to get on that manifold right now because I'm very curious to see if that's going to work. I'm pretty sure it is, but I'm a little bit worried. So I'll get back to you when I do all that. All right, guys, as you can hear in the background, I got this thing running. It took quite a bit, and I couldn't record it because I don't have a phone stand or anything. That's why I couldn't record any of the process. It took me a little while because obviously the float bowl is empty, so I had to kick it a bunch to get it going, but I just got it started, got it idling. Sounds really nice, looks really nice. It's all nice and clean, brand new engine, ready for another 5 to 10 years of hard riding, hopefully. I did have to do quite a bit of stuff. Like, these were self-tapper screws. I wanted all matching hardware, so I just put a nut behind it in the frame. I did, what else? I can't think of it. Oh, I had to, this is a 250 engine, so the gas tank where I originally had it mounted was too low and it was hitting the valve cover, so I had to raise that up. I made some spacers for the gas tank right here on both sides. You probably can't see that. Don't mind the shitty wiring. I will be fixing all this up too, but I got a spacer up on both sides, washers, so it's sitting nice and firm. Yeah, it worked out great. I still need to hook up the clutch and put the chain on, which I did get. I don't know if I told you guys already, the new zinc coated chain. And I tightened up the exhaust. I ended up finding some bolts because I went to Lowe's this morning and I got the wrong size. I thought it was the right one. I even brought the original stud that came with the engine, and I matched it up and it said M8, or at least it fit in the M8 by 1.25. I got a bolt that fit in the same one. The thread pitch was different, so someone must have stripped that out at the Lowe's. Anyway, luckily I was able to find the right pitch. I got a washer on there and a lock washer, so that should hold up just fine. So right now I'm just going to let it idle and kind of let it do its thing for the break-in period. Someone's going crazy over here. Anyways, hope you guys liked this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully I'll get you some good riding videos. So hope you liked it. Give me a like if you want, but see you guys on the next one.